We can just get into it now because I'll probably record this for YouTube as well. Because, I mean, I've got to let my audience on YouTube know what my thoughts are, I guess. So, if by any chance you have been living under a rock for the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and you play Tekken a lot, first, why aren't you watching the Tekken Talks? Because they're super interesting, usually, and they give you insights on what's actually upcoming in the next patch. And second, if you didn't watch it, count yourself lucky. Really, usually, and like if this is a video, usually in these videos I try and be like kind of level-headed, give like a balanced opinion, give people the benefit of the doubt if there's some things that I don't agree with, but I can't with good conscience be optimistic about the upcoming patch because it's basically everything that I personally don't want in the game, and I disagree with it, with the direction they're taking the game in a lot of different ways. And I'm not just going to pretend and lie. I really don't like what they're doing. So, without further ado, let's just get on with what they are doing with Season 2. So first off, right, we get a load of merch stuff and tournament changes, which is great, right, if you're going to play the game. But first they show off Anna. First big thing they show off is Anna. So, what has Anna got that's got everybody up in arms? She has a ton of stuff that they showed. Animations look kind of cool. So first off, she has this homing high. Note the range on that homing high. +4 homing high. So you're not going to be able to outspace Anna very often, which is a problem, right? Which is kind of a problem. Pair that, because you might think, oh, it's a high, you can duck this. You can just play, you know, sidestep duck or whatever, even though that move is super fast. But what if I told you that she now has this? Can you guys see that? The quality isn't great on this Tekken Talk. Can you see what she's doing? That will be hit confirmable, by the way. I'm 90% sure that is hit confirmable. -7 on block, hit confirmable. And, I mean, I'm not going to skip to it because it would be too complicated to just go through every single little bit. But just take my word for it. This is a heat engager and a heat dash launcher. Right? So she has a homing high that's fast, unreactable. And she has a mid, hit confirmable, heat engager, heat dash launcher. Holy. Now you might think, oh, that's not too bad. It's only 2 moves. What if I told you that she has this? That is a low, right, in heat, granted. It does more damage in heat, right? A 64 damage low. That is like an average combo damage in Tekken 7. That's like average combo damage from a down forward 2. From a low. Right? From a low. Now, what if I told you this is safe? It's safe! At -1 with pushback. Oh, I should have said that this is on counter hit, by the way. I didn't say this is on counter hit. This is on counter hit, right? Yeah, it's on counter hit. I don't care. This is ridiculous. -1. Safe low. Okay. Right, now you might think that's not, you know, that's bad enough, right? But at the wall, can I get it to show? I wonder if I can. Yeah, there we go. It's +2. It's +2. Oh my god. Okay. It's +2 at the wall, right? So that's Anna. Oh wait, no, it's not. I gotta show you this. So she can go into stance. You know, characters now can go into stance to do their heat smash and heat burst and whatever. Right. Nina here does a jab. Can you see? The quality is not great, but you can see, right? She does the jab. Anna's going under doing a heat smash. It's also 13 frames, right? So she can frame trap this in stance. I mean, it's high crushing. Like, what are you gonna do? So yeah, Anna's got Heat Smash from stance, and it breaks the wall, obviously. Does 50 damage, of course. Great, okay. You might think, oh, that's only Anna. Like, it's a new DLC character. It's gonna be busted, right? I mean, that's the hopes I had when I watched this Tekken talk. Moving on, a property in Tekken that has been in the game, been in the franchise since, I don't know, people tell me Tekken 4. I wasn't playing Tekken back then, but around Tekken 4, so about 20 years ago, Key Charge gave you a counter hit if you hit the opponent. Season 1 of Tekken 8 also had this as well, right? So all Tekken games after Tekken 4 did this. Well, not this, but it gave you a counter hit on the next hit you landed, right? You could block, but you can... If they landed a hit, it would be a counter hit, right? Also, it made you... The counter to that was that you were also... You couldn't block while you were in Key Charge status. So now what they've done, right? Because certain characters were so good with their Key Charge setups, like Hwarang with his flappy kick confirm, and certain characters do like a knockdown into a Key Charge setup. They were kind of cool, and they were creative expression, in my opinion. I personally never used Key Charge setups, because I don't know, it's just something that I never really did. I probably should have if I wanted to up my game in terms of like setups and stuff like that. I've just never been... Personally, I've never been like a setup kind of guy with Tekken. But so... Because a few characters have overly powerful Key Charge setups, what they have done is now they have changed the entire property of the Key Charge. So instead of it giving you a guaranteed counter hit on, like, if you actually hit them, now it gives you 150% damage, but no counter hit. I think this is actually really, really lame and reduces a lot of the creative aspects of Tekken and actually makes it less dynamic to play. This was a cool thing that people did. You've just reduced creativity, in my opinion, with this change. Instead of patching like a character's, like certain characters' strengths with the Key Charge, what they've done is remove the entire status of Key Charge entirely, or changed it to something else entirely, which I think is kind of lazy. You're doing an overarching, completely system-wide change as opposed to hammering down on the individual problems that were being caused by it. So I don't like that. Okay, moving on. Off-axis changes. So, you know in Tekken, right? If you are... They use Lydia here as an example, which I think is a bad idea because she has this move that she does. A 2-hit tornado usually realigns the opponent anyway, so it's bad to show Lydia doing this. But what they have done is when you launch somebody, if they're off axis, when you hit them a few times, they'll slowly realign back to you, so they're straight on with you, right? Causing less inconsistencies in landing your combos. But it also leads to less variance in combo routes. And I think the off-axis combos are actually, like, it's a skill. If you watch tournament play, you notice how they do different combos depending on the axis in which they launch their opponent. That was actually really fun to watch, because it's like, oh, this guy knows his character, bro. He knows his character. If he's launching him off this specific axis and he changes his combo in this way, that's really impressive and it's cool to watch. And you're learning. It's another like area of learning that they've just removed. I don't agree with this at all. It's lame. Again, because of some characters' inconsistencies with combos, they've done an overarching gameplay, like system-wide change to alleviate certain characters' issues with combos, rather than fixing those characters specifically. Bad. Don't like. Do not like. Moving on, we have Asuka versus Reina. We actually see some gameplay here. Bear in mind, before you watch this, if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably know this already, but I played Reina for like 6 months during Tekken 8 launch. Right, when the game had first come out, I played Reina for like 6 months. So I know the character pretty well. I think she's a really cool character in Season 1. You'll see why I have some issues, some big issues, and it kind of goes along with the design philosophy they've gone with in Season 2, which I really heavily disagree with. But anyway, let's watch what they do. So, right away, Asuka has now a charge from that string, which she didn't have before. Normal gameplay. Heat Smash. Note the bar. Note the heat bar here. She has used her low Heat Smash and has used barely any of her heat resources. Now, in case you don't know, for some reason, when you do a Heat Smash in Tekken, whether it be a low or a mid or whatever, you lose access to your heat immediately once you do the Heat Smash, whether it be on block or on hit. Now what they've done, and I think this is because a lot of people complain that Reina has no lows, even though that's not true. It's just not true. They've given her really powerful new lows in a Heat Smash. She already had this Heat Smash, but now she gets to use it at least 3 times. While she has heat, she gets to use this 3 times. At least 3 times. So at least 3 times per round. So she gets to use her low Heat Smash 9 times per match. Bad. Okay. We're going to see the new move that she has, or one of the new moves. You see Asuka's new move here. There's the spike, but now she does forward 2 into another follow-up, right? I'm assuming making that a safe, like that safe or safer, right? Or it makes a forward 2 safe anyway, because even if the follow-up is launch punishable, you don't know whether the Asuka is going to do the follow-up, right? So it makes it safer. Maybe you can react and get a jab punish. But either way, patching holes in characters' weaknesses again. I think that's a new move as well. There we go. New low. New low that looks very similar to the what they call the, you know, the 3+4 strings that she has. That's a new low which looks kind of weird. Again, people complaining about Reina's lows not being the best. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing about characters. Characters are fun and interesting, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people hold this opinion as well. Characters are fun and interesting when they have defined strengths and defined weaknesses. I enjoy playing a character that has weaknesses because I can use those strengths to play around my weaknesses. And you can play the match dynamically differently when you know your character has weaknesses, and it's a skill to be able to play around that. It's fun. It's not even that it's a skill, it's just interesting and fun, right? If you patch all characters' weaknesses, every character essentially has the same stuff, just with different animations. Like Reina now has a good low, like any other character. It's assuming it's a good low. In fact, I know it's a good low because I don't know if I'm going to show you this in this match, but she can get a counter hit off this into a follow-up from a low, from a counter hit low. So, and the fact that they've given her the ability to do 3 low heat smashes per round also is indicative of patching weaknesses in a character, in my opinion. Oh, and also she has a ton of stance changes as well, which you'll see in a minute. But in my opinion, this makes Reina way less fun, way less interesting, and if she has this going into season 2, if I play Tekken 8 Season 2, I probably won't play Reina anymore. This is something I do not like. I like interesting characters, and this makes Reina a lot less interesting to me. And I know that I'm going a bit crazy on this rant, but I can't just like... I'm really unhappy with this. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. Okay, so now in Heat, she has a follow-up from down 2. So the reason this is crazy, I don't think a lot of people picked up on this. I think part of the reason they gave her a follow-up, right? I don't know if it's plus or not, but the point is, right? She has a follow-up in Heat from a down 2. Now, if you play any Mishima, you will know that if you misinput electrics, you are either going to get down 2 or down forward 2, right? Reina's down forward 2 was already good, right? Because if you do electric into a failed electric and you get down forward 2, you can still carry on the combo, right? Which is still good for her. If you do it with Kazuya, it's not so good. You do down forward 2 or down 2. It's very hard to carry on the combo with down 2. You can't carry on the combo with down forward 2. But anyway, back to Reina. If you try and launch somebody and mess up and do a down forward 2 and do a down 2, sorry, now there's a threat of a follow-up in heat. So people are less likely to press back. That might seem a little bit convoluted, but I think that is part of the reason they gave her a follow-up there. Again, patching weaknesses in their character. If a character has high execution, what they've shown is this is that it doesn't matter if you get the misinput they usually get, because your opponent is going to be hesitant to press because of the follow-up. Okay, so here we go. More stance transitions from Reina. I'm not going to go over all the stance transitions, but I mean, it's whatever. Like, who knows if it's good or not, the stance transitions. But yeah, so that's the actual only, like, gameplay, character versus character that we actually see during this Tekken talk, and I gotta say, I'm not a fan. Moving on to Zafina. She has a half screen safe mid now. So good luck getting in close to Zafina. I know I'm going a bit overboard with this. I'm super salty and super upset, okay? Just bear with me. King. Nerfed muscle armor. It's pretty good, right? So now King players take 100% damage when he's in this state. And the recovery is longer, right? I'm pretty sure. Moving on, right? So they nerfed muscle armor, and then King got a ton of buffs. So this new move that he has now, if the second hit hits, the third is guaranteed. It knocks down for plus 17 Jaguar Sprint mix-up. Another force 50-50. And that has been the direction they're going, is clearly just more heavy-hitting 50-50s, making you guess, right? So we have knockdown into force 50-50. But don't worry, because even if you block it, he can charge it to be plus 9 into Jaguar Sprint. If he doesn't charge, it's minus 13. It's plus 9 if you charge it. This is a way to get the opponent to mash interrupt strings. Just like forcing aggression, basically, from the other player, like retaliation, which I personally don't like, because then it's like more casino even than it is now. And the thing is, right, you can make characters casino, and you can also make them weak. In my opinion, if you make a character weak, but based on 50-50s, like Eddie, that is still really unfun to play against. I don't like playing Tekken like that. And I think a lot of people do not like playing Tekken like that. I prefer defense, as we have more options to counter something. It's more fun to play against that, because you have way more options to cover multiple situations. That's more interesting gameplay to me than a forced 50-50. Even if the forced 50-50 is weak. I know I'm rambling a little bit here, but I just don't like the direction they're taking. Rather than like making the gameplay more interesting defensively, what they've done is just make the character's offense. So it's more like in your face and forced, but the 50-50 is weaker. If they land the 50-50, they don't get as big a reward. If they fail the 50-50, they get launched. That's weak, but it's also, for me, it's very unfun to play against that. I prefer to play defensively around spacing, with punishment, option select, fuzzy ducking. All of these things, I think, is what makes Tekken defense actually really fun. And it seems that they go in the other direction with this, which is what I don't like. But anyway. So he can charge into plus 9. So you're forced to take that mix up. Oh, do you remember homing throws, guys? Do you remember homing throws? If you miss them, they're back for King in heat. He has a homing giant swing and a homing shining wizard. A true 50-50, although you can duck both of them, so they aren't really a 50-50. However, I don't think anybody liked homing throws, whether it be in heat or not, or even just for King or not. Homing giant swing is, yeah, I mean, say no more, man. Like, homing giant swing, homing shining wizard. Can't distinguish the animations. And then the icing on the cake for this Tekken talk is chip damage for breaking the throat. You break the throw and you take chip damage. And you might think, oh, this is only for King. No, it's for every single character in Heat. So, yeah. The funny thing about this Tekken Talk is it's almost like deja vu. The fact that some characters, like I said that Reina has 3 heat smashes per round, but that's for multiple. They showed Zafrina had multiple heat smashes. I don't know how many characters are going to have multiple heat smashes, but yeah, it's very worrying. So that was something that was in the beta, right? We had 2 heat bars, so you could do 2 heat smashes. I think you could do 2 heat smashes anyway. And also, homing throws are back. Oh, and I didn't even mention Anna's debuff status that she puts on enemies for blocking a move. Let me see if I can find it, because that is insane. Essentially, she has a mid-high, probably duckable. That puts a state of debuff on you. When you're in that debuff state, you take chip damage as if you're in heat. You take chip damage as if Anna's in heat, even when she isn't, right? When she puts that debuff status on you. The way to get rid of that is to hit Anna.
So not on block, you have to actually hit it.
So they have a new debuff status, which is kind of counter to reducing chip damage, which they showed last Tekken Talk. That's basically what they showed in the Tekken Talk that I really hate. Jin did get nerfed. His 2-1-4 is now -10. His up forward 2 is -10. His down 2 now no longer counter hit launches, but they buffed him in other ways. So to be honest, from what I saw, Jin doesn't seem, I don't know in terms of strength because I don't have my hands on the character, but he doesn't seem bad. Now his full crouch down forward 4 counter hit launches. It is still launch punishable, it staggers. But he can do that full crouch low from stances now. And he can do running 3 into Zen. He can do his Zen 1-2 is now a heat dash launcher. I'm not going to show you Jin because, I mean, this video is going to go on forever. King's muscle armor got nerfed, which is good. Oh, and the UI change, which I didn't even show you guys. So, the UI change. So if you look at the sides here, see punish? Punish. You see that? Punish. UI change. Counter. Now, the thing with counter that everybody was worried about, like hit confirming counter hits. Apparently the counter comes, like, shows a lot later. Comes quite late in the move connecting. So it's probably not quick enough for you to, like, counter hit confirm, like, 1-1-1 with Law. 1-1-1 with Lars. 1-2-1 with Dragunov. It's probably not quick enough. Or 1-1-1 with Kuma or Panda. So I think the UI change is fine. It's just fine. Kind of cool for people who want to, like, know, is that punishable? Whatever, against a rare character. I think that's fine. It's kind of cool. However, the actual gameplay, in my opinion, my personal opinion, I very much dislike. I think they're going in a terrible direction for the reasons I've stated in this video. Usually, I'm pretty, like, self-contained and pretty, like, level-headed when it comes to these videos. If I disagree with something, I'll, you know, but I'll try and keep a level head. But this is such a big change, and the stuff that they're doing, like adding more canned 50-50s, heavy hitting 50-50s, 64 damage lows, multiple heat smashes during a round, chip damage, new debuff, even though they promised to reduce the chip damage. I know it's only for one character, but still. Homing throws, chip damage for breaking a throw, more charge moves, forcing players to, like, retaliate before, like, interrupt move. You wonder why people mash so much in this game. It's because they're incentivized to mash against strings. If they're charge strings, they're going to like, sometimes their best option is to just mash out of it to avoid putting themselves in situations like this. where it's minus 13, or it's plus 9 into a force 50-50 again. So, I mean, you wonder why people mash. That's why they mash. Like, that is why. And also, there's less movement. There's no backdash, really, so... I know I'm rambling now, but this is what I think about the Tekken Talk, the new Season 2. I am very, very disappointed. I actually did expect them to tone down heat. Plus 17 on heat engages, I thought was bad enough. But now we have, like, a ton of other shit to deal with, basically. And it makes the game... I heard the word homogeneous thrown around a lot, and I can't think of any other word, really, to describe what the gameplay is now. So, yeah, personally, don't think I'm going to enjoy Season 2. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, the patch notes give some more insight into these changes and reasoning. Because what I saw in this Tekken Talk was not a game that I want to play, frankly. That I would enjoy playing. Just from a personal point. Right, so we'll see what happens. And to be honest, like, after seeing, you can clearly see the direction they're going with this. It might be over. But maybe it's an April Fool's joke. Who knows, man? That's my wrap-up of the Tekken Talk. Sorry for the rant if you didn't enjoy it. I'm sure some people did enjoy me ranting. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with the patch. I'll see you guys in the next one. Much love. Peace.